My nephew spit in my daughter's food and said, "Go ahead, eat it." My sister laughed, and my mom didn't say a word while my daughter cried. A week later at dinner, I showed everyone proof that my nephew was actually adopted, and he couldn't stop crying. My daughter Emma was reaching for her mac and cheese when my nephew Tyler leaned over and spit directly into her bowl, a wet glob that landed in the center with a soft plop. "Go ahead," he said, grinning. "Eat it." Emma froze. Her fork hovered in the air. She was 6 years old. Small for her age, blonde pigtails tied with pink ribbons, pink dress she'd been excited to wear all morning because Grandma said it made her look like a princess. The dining room at my parents' house smelled like pot roast and vanilla candle wax. Sunday dinner, weekly tradition that had been going on for years. The whole family around the big oak table. My sister, Claire, her husband Rob, my mom, my dad, me, and the kids. Emma looked at me, eyes wide and wet, filling with tears. Bottom lip starting to tremble. "Mom," Tyler laughed, loud and sharp, proud. I said, "Eat it, with my special sauce." He thought it was hilarious. Claire smiled into her wine glass, took a long sip. "Boys will be boys." I looked at my mother. She was cutting her pot roast, knife scraping against the china plate. She didn't look up, didn't acknowledge what had just happened. "Mom," I said, voice tight, controlled. "Did you see what he just did?" She chewed slowly, deliberately, swallowed, reached for her water glass. "Kids play rough sometimes, Nicole. It's how they learn boundaries. They test each other." He spit in her food. Claire sighed, dramatic, annoyed. Like I was the problem. "Oh my God, Emma's fine. She's being way too dramatic. Tyler was just playing around. They're cousins. This is what kids do." "Playing?" My voice was louder now. He spit in her food and told her to eat it. "Don't raise your voice at the table," my mother said, still not looking at me. "This is a family dinner. We don't yell." Emma's lip trembled harder. A tear rolled down her cheek, then another, her little hands gripping her fork so tight her knuckles were white. Tyler was still laughing. "Crybaby. Emma's a crybaby." "Tyler, that's enough," Rob said, half-heartedly, not looking up from his phone. "She's such a baby," Tyler said louder. "Can't even take a joke." I stood, picked up Emma's plate, the mac and cheese, with the glob of spit sitting in the middle like a disgusting garnish, walked it to the kitchen, scraped it into the trash, the whole thing, plate clattering. "We're leaving," I said. My mother finally looked up. "Don't make a scene, Nicole." "I'm not making a scene. I'm taking my daughter and leaving." Claire rolled her eyes, set her wine glass down with a loud clink. "Seriously? You're leaving over this? You're so ridiculously sensitive? It's embarrassing. She's 6, and Tyler's 8. They're kids. They mess with each other. That's what kids do. You're making a huge deal out of nothing." I took Emma's hand. She was crying now, silent tears streaming down her face, her whole body shaking, trying not to make noise because Grandma said crying at the table was rude. Tyler was still grinning, proud of himself, looking at his parents for approval. No one said sorry. No one told Tyler what he did was wrong. No one told him to apologize. No one asked if Emma was okay. No one cared that my 6-year-old daughter was crying. Dad just kept eating, knife and fork, scraping methodically, like nothing had happened. Mom was already refilling Claire's wine glass. We walked out, through the dining room, through the living room with the family photos on the walls, out the front door into the cold October evening. Emma didn't say anything until we got to the car. Then she sobbed, big, heaving sobs, the kind that come from deep inside. At home, I held her while she cried into my shoulder, her small body shaking against mine. She didn't understand why no one stood up for her, why Tyler got to laugh, why Grandma didn't care, why no one stopped him, why no one made him say sorry. "Am I bad, Mommy?" "No, baby, you didn't do anything wrong." "Then why was everyone mad at me?" "They weren't mad at you. It felt like they were." I didn't have a good answer, not one that would make sense to a 6-year-old, not one that would make this hurt less. But sitting there on the couch with my daughter in my arms, I had a memory, an old one, something I'd tucked away years ago and never thought about again. Until now. Years ago, when Claire got pregnant with Tyler, there was a fight, a massive one, screaming, crying, drama that shook the whole family. She'd been at Mom and Dad's house. Summer evening, I was 19, home from college for summer break, upstairs in my old bedroom packing to go back to school. I heard it through the open window. Claire and Mom in the driveway, shouting at each other. "You can't tell anyone. I mean it. No one. This is my choice, not yours. He doesn't need to know. Ever. I won't do it your way. I'm doing this my way." I'd looked out the window, seen Claire crying, mascara running down her face, Mom standing with her arms crossed, both of them red-faced and furious. Then, they'd gotten in their cars separately and peeled out of the driveway, gravel flying. I never asked what happened. Family rule, don't ask about Claire's drama. Claire was always dramatic, always fighting with someone about something. Claire never explained, never mentioned it. Tyler was born 8 months later. Normal family celebration. Baby shower with pink and blue decorations. Hospital visits. Flowers and balloons. Everything seemed fine. Perfect. Even. The family moved on. I moved on. Went back to school. Got my degree. Got my job. Had Emma. Built my own life. But I remembered the tone in Claire's voice that day. The panic. The desperation. The fear. And now, sitting in my living room with my daughter, crying in my arms because my family had failed her, I wondered what it all meant. The next day, after I dropped Emma at school, I started digging. I requested Claire's old medical records. She'd listed me as an emergency contact when Tyler was born. She was single then, before she met Rob, and needed someone responsible, and she'd never updated it. I called the hospital, said I needed the records for family medical history, insurance purposes. They sent them. No questions asked, no pregnancy documented, no prenatal care appointments, no ultrasounds, no delivery. Nothing. Then I remembered the Dropbox. Dad had made a shared family Dropbox years ago when he got paranoid about losing important documents. He'd titled it Important Family Documents and uploaded everything: birth certificates, social security cards, insurance papers, tax returns, marriage licenses, and then promptly forgot about it. Never checked it, never organized it. I logged in, scrolled through folders, found one labeled Claire. Inside, adoption papers, private adoption through Loving Families Agency, closed records, confidential biological parents. Adoption finalized when Tyler was 3 days old, September 2015. Claire and Rob had signed everything. Rob had been in the picture by then. They'd adopted Tyler together, and they'd never told anyone. Not the family, not Tyler, no one. I sat at my kitchen table staring at my laptop screen, reading every page, every signature, every legal clause. They'd lied. For 8 years. To everyone. To Tyler most of all. I took screenshots of everything, saved PDFs to my computer, my phone, and a USB drive, made physical copies, and put them in a folder, backed everything up 3 different ways. Then I closed my laptop, and I went quiet. For the next week, I acted completely normal, perfectly normal. I smiled at family texts, replied to the group chat, sent laughing emojis at Dad's bad joke, liked Claire's Facebook photos of Tyler at soccer practice, hearted her Instagram posts, commented sweet things. Claire posted a photo of Tyler in his soccer uniform, grass-stained and grinning, with the caption, "My boy, my world, so proud of this kid." I hearted it, commented, "He's getting so big, so proud of him." Mom texted, "Lunch this week? Haven't seen you and Emma, miss my girls." I replied, "Can't this week, sorry. Emma has a dentist appointment and I'm swamped at work. Rain check, maybe next week?" I pretended everything was fine, that I'd moved on, that I'd forgotten about Sunday dinner. They thought I'd let it go, moved past it, forgiven them. Claire even texted me privately, "Glad you're not still being weird about last week. Tyler didn't mean anything by it. You know how boys are." I replied, "All good, just busy, talk soon." They didn't realize I was just waiting for the right moment, planning, preparing, making sure everything was perfect. The following Sunday, Mom texted the family group chat, "Mom, dinner at 5 today. Everyone come, no excuses. Making your favorite pot roast and that apple pie you all love. Claire, we'll be there. Can't wait. Dad, looking forward to it. Rob, I'll bring wine." I waited 10 minutes, then replied, "Sounds great, we'll be there. Emma's excited to see everyone." Mom replied with a heart emoji. Claire, "Yay, Tyler misses his cousin." I didn't respond to that one. We arrived exactly on time. Emma held my hand tight walking up the driveway. "Do I have to go?" "Just for a little while, baby. I promise." The dining room smelled like garlic bread, pot roast, and vanilla candles. The table was set with Mom's good china, cloth napkins, crystal glasses, the works. Everyone was already seated. Same seats as always. Family tradition. Tyler sat in his usual spot across from where Emma would sit, kicking his feet under the table, playing on his iPad, not looking up. Claire poured herself wine from a bottle already on the table, already half a glass in, lipstick on the rim. Rob scrolled through his phone. Work emails, probably. Dad sat at the head of the table reading the newspaper. Actual physical newspaper, because he refused to read news on his phone. Mom bustled in and out of the kitchen carrying dishes, playing the perfect hostess. Emma held my hand tight, whispered, "Do I have to sit by Tyler?" "No, baby. You sit right next to Mommy. Right here." We sat down. Emma, on my left side, as far from Tyler as possible. Mom set down a big casserole dish in the center, pot roast with carrots and potatoes. Steam rising. "Glad you could make it, Nicole. Thought maybe you were still upset, still being dramatic about last week." Her tone said everything. Said she thought I was overreacting, being too sensitive, making problems. I smiled. Warm, friendly. "Wouldn't miss it, Mom. Everything smells amazing." Dinner started. Passing dishes, clinking silverware. Small talk. Claire asked Dad about his golf game. Dad complained about his bad knee and the weather. Rob talked about some project at work, some deadline, some client. I cut Emma's pot roast into small pieces, made sure she had vegetables, poured her apple juice in a wine glass so she felt fancy. Tyler stared at her from across the table, smirking, eyes mean. Emma wouldn't look at him, kept her eyes on her plate. I waited, patient, calm. Then, halfway through the meal, I pulled out my phone. I wanted to share something with everyone, I said, voice calm, steady, clear. Everyone looked up. Claire's face tightened. Can it wait until after dinner? We're eating. No, I think everyone should see this right now. I unlocked my phone, opened my photos, turned the screen toward the center of the table so everyone could see. The first image, adoption agency letterhead, Loving Families Adoption Services, official stamps and seals, Claire and Rob's signatures at the bottom in blue ink. This, I said calmly, is Tyler's adoption paperwork. The room went completely silent. You could hear the clock ticking in the hallway. The paving spest had been bailed. Refrigerator humming in the kitchen. Someone's breathing. Claire's fork clattered to her plate. Wine sloshing in her glass. Red drops on the white tablecloth. What the fuck are you doing? Language, Mom said automatically. Sharing family information, I said. Important information that I think everyone should know. I swiped to the next image. The closed adoption agreement. Official legal document. Tyler's biological parents listed as confidential. Adoption finalized 8 years ago. September 2015. Tyler isn't your biological son, I said, looking at Tyler, then at Claire, then at Mom and Dad. You adopted him when he was 3 days old. Closed adoption. You've never told him. You've never told anyone. Mom's face went white, completely white. Bloodless. Her hand flew to her mouth. Dad set down his knife and fork carefully. Nicole. Tyler looked at Claire, confused, scared. iPad forgotten. Mom, what's she talking about? Shut up, Claire hissed at me, voice shaking. Shut your fucking mouth right now. I swiped again. Medical records. Claire's patient file. No pregnancy documented. No prenatal care. No ultrasounds. No delivery records. Nothing. You've been lying to him his entire life. Rob stood up, chair scraping loudly, face going red, neck veins bulging. Where the fuck did you get that? That's private medical information. That's illegal. You can't. You left it in the family Dropbox, I said, voice still calm, still steady. Dad's important family documents folder, the one he made and forgot about. Anyone with access could see it. I have access. I looked. Tyler's eyes filled with tears, fast, sudden, complete. Mom, what does adopted mean? Claire reached for him across the table, desperate, knocking over her wine glass, red wine spreading across the white tablecloth like blood, dripping onto the carpet. Baby, it's complicated. It doesn't change anything. It doesn't matter. You're still our son. We love you. You're adopted, I said, looking directly at Tyler, making eye contact. They're not your biological parents. Your real parents are other people. Claire and Rob adopted you when you were a baby, and they never told you. They lied to you for your whole life. Tyler's face crumpled, complete devastation. He started crying, deep, choking sobs, the kind that shake your whole body, the kind that hurt. Claire stood up, shaking, wine dripping from the table onto her cream-colored dress, staining it. You're a fucking monster. You're evil. How could you do this? No, I said, looking right at her, voice cold. I'm the person whose daughter you let cry while your son spit in her food. I'm the person you called dramatic and sensitive. I'm the person you laughed at. I'm the person whose child you didn't defend. I looked at my mother. She sat frozen, hands in her lap, face pale, mouth open. You didn't say a word when Tyler did that. You told me not to make a scene. You told me I was overreacting. You told me kids will be kids. You told me to calm down. I stood up, picked up my purse, took Emma's hand. She slid off her chair immediately, ready to leave. So I didn't make a scene last week, but I made a choice this week. Tyler was sobbing now, gasping for air. You're not my mom? Who is? Where is she? Claire tried to hold him. He pushed her away, hard. Get away from me. You lied. You're not my real mom. Mom's voice cracked. Nicole, please, this is too far. He's just a child. He didn't know. So is Emma, I said, but that didn't matter last week, did it? I walked toward the door, Emma beside me, her small hand warm in mine. Behind us, Tyler screamed, "Who are my real parents? I want to meet them. Where are they?" Claire was crying now too, sobbing. "Baby, please. We love you. We chose you. We wanted you so much. You lied to me my whole life." Dad's voice. "Everyone needs to calm down. Mom, Nicole, come back here right now. Rob, this is your fault. You did this." I opened the front door. Cool October air rushed in. Evening sounds. A dog barking somewhere. A car passing. Normal life continuing. Tyler's voice, breaking completely. "I hate you. I want my real parents. Where are they?" I looked back once, just once. Claire on her knees on the carpet, holding Tyler while he fought her. Rob standing there useless with his phone still in his hand. Mom crying into her napkin. Dad with his head in his hands. The perfect family dinner destroyed. Boys will be boys, I said quietly. Right, Mom? Then I walked out with Emma, down the porch steps, across the driveway, to my car. Emma looked up at me. "Are you okay, Mommy?" "I'm perfect, baby." I buckled her in, got in the driver's seat, started the engine.